Movie reviews by Robert Anthony.
Howdy.
Hey guys.
I got nothing.
Uh,
I got this voice right here.
this is us bringing you the review for the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Now you might have remembered a few months back when the trailer was originally debuted. We did a special because I am really into Nightmare on Elm Street.
Gigantic
It's
Freddy Krueger fan.
It's my number one. Number one.
As you can see by the shirt.
The shirt. I came with the shirt and I got the glove. I didn't come with the glove to theaters, but
Yeah.
you know. So, needless to say, I was very, very
Ooh, okay.
eager for this movie tonight. If you don't know, it's starring Jackie Earle Haley plays the lead role, I would say, of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
You can go over the director is...
His name's Samuel Bayer. It's his first movie. He's done some music videos. Apparently really good music videos. I don't know which one.
But this is his first feature film. I know that some of the other actors that are in it, a lot of...
I know it's got that goth kid from Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, Thomas Dekker
a good friend
is
of
in
yours,
it.
Thomas Dekker.
Yeah, he was in Laid to Rest, Robert Hall's Laid to Rest. He was also...
He was in an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah, he plays the little kid that Kramer steals the
birthday card
from. And he was, of course, in the short-lived 2 seasons, Sarah Connor Chronicles.
In the first half of the first season of Heroes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, let's say...
and then a bunch of other...
Diving right into the review, what people expect, don't expect, what could ruin the movie, what couldn't ruin the movie. Things that might ruin the movie if you compare it to the original. Things that also might ruin the movie if you don't compare it to the original. I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan. I was looking forward to this for months. When Freddy vs. Jason came out and they were talking about how it was going to spark new interest in the franchise, I was very interested.
Yeah.
When they said, you know, okay, Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger in the original, was no longer going to play Freddy, I was hesitant, but when they got Jackie Earle Haley, I was still interested again.
Yeah.
When
that was after Watchmen came out, everyone was like, yeah, Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah, and I thought if anyone can play Freddy, Jackie Earle Haley. He has good voice acting.
He's a good character actor.
Yeah. However, let's touch on makeup.
However, doesn't sound good.
However, on makeup, you might have seen in stills and even the trailers now. I know this is a big problem you had with it.
Yes, makeup. It changes. There's scenes where it's really flat, and you'll see couple burn holes in his face, and maybe some wrinkly burned skin. And then there's other times where it's full blown CG with holes in his face. You can see inside his mouth.
It's like they couldn't.
It's very textured. His face is very bony. Other times his face is very round and smooth. I didn't know what they were trying. I thought maybe they filmed some scenes and said, I don't like it, let's change it, but we don't have the time to go back and refilm this stuff with the new makeup.
I like Jackie Earle Haley, but this was not his best role.
No.
The voice acting, I know there was a lot of debate over whether they were going to fix it and all. It just didn't sound menacing. A lot of points in time I had to turn and go,
what did he say?
What did he just say? Because he would say something like, wake up.
I think he said Rorschach's journal.
I don't know. It was so
I think he said I was just trying to take
frustrating as he's supposed to be a scary character, and much of it was very
scary.
Yeah, not intimidating at all. And a lot of the writing was taken from Freddy Krueger lines from other films of Nightmare on Elm Street, like "How's This for a Wet Dream?" and "Welcome to My World" and stuff like that. And I really feel, and I hate to be biased, but I'm gonna be biased, that Robert Englund has a better featured face for that type of menacing look in general. And I know Robert Englund voice acting, they touched that all up in post and all that. So it wasn't all Robert Englund, but the voice acting on that was so much better. And I'm not saying that's bad on Jackie Earle Haley's, point, but I think they really screwed up, and that really messes with the whole dynamic of the film. Not to mention that they're all supposed to be in high school. They all look like they're 30.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started on that.
Other problems are plot. They try to add something new, and I understand that in remakes you are supposed to,
what's the?
It's not supposed to.
You don't want to have
shot
another
for shot.
Psycho.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want something that people will recognize, but you take it in a slightly different direction where it's cool, it's new, it's exciting.
Yeah.
They completely changed it, and I'm gonna stand right here, right now, and say that originally I don't think Freddy Krueger. This is my point of view. I know Wes Craven has come out and said stuff too, whatever, but I don't think Freddy Krueger was originally supposed to be a pedophile.
Yeah.
He was a child murderer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, if you put pedophile and child murderer next to each other, and I'm not getting in some giant philosophical argument of which is really worse.
Because they're both horrible.
They're both horrible. But I would say the guy that kills children is much worse than the guy that rapes children. And don't, like I said, that sounds horrible because you think
we don't condone anything.
No. But I'm saying you're taking...
There's still about the horrible things, but...
Yeah, and to put a character who is an assumed child pedophile and make him suddenly this vindictive murderer, it's two different things.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know. It's like he just... Again, for the record. But,
we're not trained in this stuff.
it was so upsetting. I really think this movie was, to put in layman's terms that I've been saying all night, a shit sandwich.
And everyone's gonna take a bite.
I
wish they would have changed some things, because we've seen the first movie, we've seen the boiler rooms, we've seen the classrooms. I wish they would have taken the dreams elsewhere, and maybe new imaginative places.
No, same stuff,
but
and not even real dream powers in this.
Not
All
at all.
claw. Claw, cut, claw, stab, cut, claw, rip.
If they didn't say it was a dream, I would have just assumed they'd wandered into like an abandoned building and he was there.
Yeah, and it's very anticlimactic. I'm not ruining anything, but it's very anticlimactic. And this will show you how big of a fan I am. And if Freddy vs. Jason, the what was that, 2003 now?
Yeah.
I was rooting for Freddy, and I still think that Freddy won, even though it was obviously designed to make whoever you were rooting for win.
Yeah.
But if you put remake, that's last year's Friday 13th Jason, again, remake Jackie Earle Haley's Freddy, I think Jason would have a better chance.
Jason was all up in your face. Jason was running in this.
That movie, like, I didn't like it because they changed things about Jason too, where he like kidnapped and held people and stuff. But at the same time, they didn't change his whole story.
Yeah.
And Jason's a faceless character. You took a character that had a face and gave him a different face. A less menacing... I digress, because I could go on, I went on all night about this.
Yeah.
I'm very upset. And I will say, go out and see it. If you want, you might like it, but it's full of jump scares. Non-stop jump scares.
Yeah.
And like the claw, even when it scrapes on things, it doesn't scrape. It sparks and electrocute sounds.
Yeah.
It's like, and everything's a jump, and everything's a, like he's facing like this. And then like this and turning around, but he's not turning around. It's just if I cut from this, and that's supposed to be, I can't explain it, but it's just.
Oh, another guy who's in this movie he was in like the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
he plays the guard. He plays Mr. Krabs' voice on SpongeBob. He plays the one character's father, who's his teacher also.
Yeah, which I was confused about too, because they changed the dynamics. Nancy does not have a boyfriend in this.
Yeah.
She does not have a father that's ever acknowledged. The father that is in existence in the original was the police chief.
Yeah.
It's... Oh, I wish I could say stuff, but thank you, Hollywood, for...
They don't develop relationships with anybody, so you don't...
It jumps right into it.
You don't really care when anyone dies. You're like, oh, whatever.
And they try to, like, add twists and, like, plot reveals, and... I don't want this to go on forever, but it's just... It's a really bad movie.
And the acting's really horrible, too.
It is.
Like, I thought Thomas Dekker was an alright actor.
I didn't think his performance was bad.
It wasn't the best.
No, but I didn't think, like, I think out of all the actors,
He
I thought
probably
his
did, like,
was probably
some
one
of
of the
best,
better
because
ones.
he's probably more experienced, most likely. And that Asian kid from Friday the 13th.
Yeah, he, like, appears in it for a second. I did like some of the mini dream sequences. Like, there are some ideas that could have been very well developed.
Yeah, like the micro naps, where you dream and you don't know you're dreaming because you still think you're awake.
And him in the convenience store with the graphics was really cool.
How it kept, like, switching back and forth.
But the thing of, like, him coming out of the wall was so CG. It looked so bad.
Horrible.
Why? I gotta end this.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of 5, 1, because it was called Nightmare on Elm Street, but it didn't even bring, like, I was waiting for the music from Nightmare on Elm Street.
You hear it.
No theme.
You hear it when
It's, like, dragged
Nightmare on Elm
out.
Street pops on the screen, and then you don't hear it again.
But I don't even think it's like the legitimate. I think it's like a remix.
Yeah, it's just really redone. It's
like,
not.
come on.
But
Like in the original, like in the remake of Friday the 13th,
they had.
it's still the original, like.
And Halloween has the Halloween music.
Even though don't get.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another thing. I hate it. Halloween. I'd sooner watch this than I would Halloween
Yeah.
again. But.
I want to watch. I don't want to watch this again, but I just want to watch the last scene because you guys were talking about the last scene, and I didn't see the last scene because I made the mistake of drinking a giant tea before we went in there, thinking I'd be fine,
No,
and that my bladder was going to explode. I was like having a seizure in the seat until Sean told me just fucking go to the bathroom, and I'd like crawl over like 5 douchebags who wouldn't move.
I thought you hated the movie and had to leave.
No, I really had to go. Like I couldn't concentrate. This movie just felt so long because of it. But you said it felt long.
I said it felt long. Pat said it felt short. Oh, and there's a small plot hole where they all have amnesia as a child.
Yeah.
And it doesn't explain that at all.
Okay.
I'm bringing that up because Pat wanted to know, like me to bring that up because that doesn't make. There's so many big plot holes in this. I want to say something, but I don't want to spoil it. So it's just so aggravating. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye to you all and then give the spoiler.
2 out of 10 for me. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, get the fuck out of here.
Leave now.
Go. Turn it off.
And I'm just gonna say
Stop.
the spoiler. I'm gonna say the spoiler, and then just end it. And you think about it and tell me, okay. So Freddy Krueger, right? He's a gardener that works at a preschool that is allowed to have the children have fun with him in his private room because he lives in the basement of the preschool. And he's a rapist.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you
saw
with
that coming.
I'll leave you with that, and you tell me, does that sound like the Freddy Krueger you remember?